State police say a Morgan County man was pulled from his vehicle this morning moments after a crash and just before it caught fire.
A warning to potential homeowners tonight. A Lexington homeowner says someone is posting house listings to Craigslist even though they don't own the home that's for sale.
Heavy rain continues to fall across much of central and eastern Kentucky. That may be a sign of things to come. Tracking another storm system just ahead.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. It's been a wet day, and state police believe that weather may have caused a deadly crash in eastern Kentucky.
Around 7:45 this morning, troopers tell us two cars collided on Highway 519 in Morgan County. 37-year-old Toby Hunley was killed in the crash, while the driver of the other car was critically injured. But as our Victor Puente found out, that driver was rescued just minutes before his car burst into flames. He has the details in our top story at 5:30.
State police say witnesses were able to pull one of the men involved in this crash from his car just before it went up in flames. Police say 18-year-old Noah Cox was going north on 519 when he rounded this curve and lost control of his car.
Actually crossed the center line and struck that vehicle head on.
Cox's vehicle came to a stop on the road. The other vehicle involved, a GMC Jimmy, went onto the shoulder. The driver of that SUV, 37-year-old Toby Hunley, was taken to a local hospital where he died. After the impact, Cox's car caught fire, and at first he was trapped inside.
One of the vehicles did catch on fire, and one of the actual driver from that vehicle was actually pulled out of the vehicle by bystanders.
State police are still investigating the cause. Other first responders say it was raining at the time of the crash, and the road was pretty slick. Noah Cox was airlifted to a hospital in West Virginia. At last check, he was in critical condition. In Morgan County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Police say both drivers were wearing their seat belts.
We have a scam alert to warn you about tonight. Prospective home renters are getting sucked into putting money down on a home from an owner that does not exist. Mike Linden is talking to a Lexington homeowner who caught on to the scam. Mike explains how this all works. It's a story that's new at 5:30.
This 3-bedroom, 1-bath house on Zandale Drive in Lexington has gotten a lot of looks from those who want to move in. Meredith Lane is the owner.
Yesterday, I started getting a flood of phone calls from people that wanted to rent it.
But those eyeballing it have done so not in person, but on Craigslist.
A scammer had put this on Craigslist yesterday morning, advertising it for rent for $600. They advertised an open house at the property.
But when Lane didn't show up Monday to show the house, potential renters called her cell phone number wondering what happened.
But it says it's for rent for $600 a month. I just wanted to verify that this is correct.
I talked to numerous people, at least 30 people called me or texted me yesterday.
Lane believes a guy named Michael Jacinto out of Texas is ripping people off by swiping information from house listings. His name is listed on the agreement form. He wants $600 in rent up front and $600 for a deposit sent to this supposed router number.
You as the potential renter, you send your deposit and you send first month's rent, and then he'll FedEx you the keys the next day. Well, what happens is the person sends their money, they never get the keys, they never get to move in, and then they've been scammed out of $1,200.
Lane says she put a lot of time and money into flipping this 1,800 square foot home. $600 a month for this place is too good to be true. You might want to double that. Try $1,200 to $1,300 a month.
You know, in a lot of cases, this is all the money that they have to get into that next home, and then it's gone, and they have no place to live and nothing to show for it.
In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Now, Lane says she doesn't know how many people fell for the scam. We tried to call the seller from Craigslist, but no one answered. The Lexington Bluegrass Association of Realtors has some tips for you when looking for that next home. Work with an LBAR member. Do not wire any money. Google the property address and the leasing agent. Basically, do your research, and if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. We're also tracking a scam alert out of Clark County. In this one, Winchester police say a woman is going door to door trying to pass herself off as a DirecTV or Dish employee. The police tell us that she advertises a special promotion, then asks for payments ranging from $40 to $60. Unfortunately, some people have already fallen for the woman's sales pitch.
Actual credentials and verification, you know, and then always follow up. If someone comes to your door trying to sell you something, don't give them money.
Police say this woman is carrying a clipboard. They say she has gray hair, wears a baseball hat, and blue jeans.
Rain continues to hammer much of the bluegrass tonight. Some areas have already seen more than an inch of rain.
It doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime soon. So, Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a very wet forecast.
Yeah, indeed. A little on the ugly side out there today, guys. Although, you know what? I like a good fall rainy day. I think it actually looks good out there, especially for folks who are inside on a day like this. Check out this view, though, coming out of southeastern Kentucky. National Weather Service in Jackson. We got the mountains with a little hint of some color, a lot of low clouds, fog, and the occasional rain. Here's the view into Lexington, where the steady rains that we had a little bit ago are lightening up just a little bit. That'll pick back up, though, soon enough as we track rounds of showers into much of central and eastern Kentucky. The occasional rumble of thunder into southern Kentucky a little earlier today. Farther west you go in Lexington, drier we are as of now, though I use that term drier loosely. Into northeastern Kentucky, rain picking back up. Southeastern Kentucky dry for now in some areas. Those rains, though, beginning to increase from southwest to northeast, and everything that is out there is going to continue to wander across our skyline. Looking back toward the west and northwest, a little calm ahead of precipitation around an area of low pressure will likely develop and work through here later tonight, with temperatures dropping into the 60s and a few more showers around. But I come back in a few minutes. I mentioned the word ugly, and that pattern by the weekend especially, guys, has a rather ugly look and maybe feel to it. I'll explain why we should be watching the eastern sky just ahead.
A woman is in jail tonight accused of abusing a child. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Clay County. Manchester police say a 6-year-old girl showed up to school with 2 black eyes, a bruised cheek, and marks on several parts of her body. They later arrested 28-year-old Jessica Sasser. And according to an arrest citation, Sasser told police the girl fell at the playground, but police say the girl's injuries are not consistent with a fall. Sasser has been charged with criminal abuse. In Simpson County, police have arrested a man they say planned to blow up a middle school. Frankfort police say someone tipped them off that 18-year-old Trey Guathney Law had explosives in the shed behind his house. That same person told police that Law said he was going to blow up Franklin Simpson Middle School. Law let officers search the shed, and police say they found Molotov cocktails and some other potential explosive devices. Law is charged with possession of a destructive device or booby trap. In Hopkins County, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a small plane to crash. According to an Evansville TV station, the plane crashed near Highway 109 just before noon. The pilot was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No one else was injured. Federal aviation investigators will be on the scene tomorrow to help investigate.
The city of Louisville will pay $6 million to settle the remaining claims from a train derailment at the zoo. Dozens of people were injured when the train crashed in 2009. The State Department of Agriculture found that speed, poor maintenance, and inadequate training caused the accident. A Louisville television station reports the city reached an agreement today with 5 people injured in the crash. They've already reached an agreement with 26 other people, totaling more than $600,000.
If you are planning to camp out for Big Blue Madness tickets, why not do it in style? Tempur-Pedic and Sleep Outfitters are joining in on the Big Blue Madness action with their hashtag Big Blue Glamping campaign. One lucky camper will win a camp upgrade designed specifically for UK fans.
Comes with hardwood floors and Tempur-Pedic mattresses and adjustable bases. We'll have a food concierge, so somebody will be coming by every day to take their order and deliver their food to them. And then Coach Cal's even going to come by for a little welcome to the neighborhood housewarming visit.
I hope it is rainproof, whatever it is. To enter, campers will need to stop by the Big Blue Glamping tent on Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and fill out a card. UK Athletics will announce the winner Wednesday during a live broadcast on WLAP. The winner will receive their upgraded glamping experience that night.
This Saturday, thousands of people will gather in downtown Lexington to support the fight against breast cancer. It's Lexington's Komen Race for the Cure. Cheryl of Mount Vernon has our good question tonight. Does the Susan G. Komen organization contribute money to Planned Parenthood? I saw on national news they do. For an answer, I contacted Sheldon Cozy, director of the Susan G. Komen Lexington affiliate. He says it's important to understand that Susan G. Komen is not one organization. It's a network of more than 100 independent affiliates. and each one fundraises in their communities to support their own affiliate operations and the needs of their community. It's up to each affiliate to decide what organizations to fund based on the needs of the communities they serve and how much access to care the people have. Now, right now, there are 9 Komen affiliates, he says, in the country that provide funding to Planned Parenthood. These funds are specifically earmarked for providing cancer screening to underserved populations and women without access to insurance. Both the Lexington and Louisville affiliates do not provide funding to Planned Parenthood, and the Planned Parenthood organizations have never appeared on either of their grant slates. So to date, the Lexington affiliate has given over $4 million to local organizations and healthcare facilities in the fight against breast cancer. For a full list of this year's grantees, people may visit KomenLexington.org. If you have a good question, go to WKYT.com.
All 3 candidates for Kentucky governor will face off again tomorrow, this time on Kentucky Sports Radio.
And voters in Berea head to the polls today. Bill Bryant tells us what they're deciding on in the bottom line.
Good evening. All 3 candidates for governor will appear with Matt Jones on Kentucky Sports Radio tomorrow morning. Democrat Jack Conway, Republican Matt Bevin, and Independent Drew Curtis will answer questions from Jones, who has mixed politics into his sports talk show over the last year or so. As part of our coverage of Campaign 2015, WKYT News will provide a live stream of the KSR program from 10 to 11 tomorrow on WKYT.com. Other statewide candidates will also take part in a forum sponsored by the Lexington Area Realtors Association. That will be at noon tomorrow at the Marriott, and I'll be moderating that. Polls close shortly in Berea, where voters have been deciding today whether to allow qualified restaurants to serve alcohol by the drink. The trend in recent years has been for local communities to pass restaurant alcohol sales when it comes up for a vote. But Berea has rejected it twice before. This time, though, Mayor Steve Conley has openly supported the initiative and called it an economic development issue. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says a short-term spending measure is not the ideal way to run the federal government, but he says it will prevent a government shutdown. Some conservatives on Capitol Hill wanted McConnell to fight harder to cut off funding for Planned Parenthood, even if that would have caused a government shutdown tomorrow night. Kentucky's general election is 5 weeks from today, and the last day to register to vote in the November 3rd election is next Monday, October 5th. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
More than 7,000 students from schools across central and south central Kentucky came to Rupp Arena today to feed their minds.
The 3rd annual Feed the Mind event encourages 4th and 5th grade students to read. Organizers say the event sparks an interest in reading among students who may not read books outside of school.
They walk in big-eyed, wild-eyed, and they're just excited to be here. I don't think they would be any more excited if they were attending a championship basketball game.
Students participated in reading games at the event and also heard from several children's authors.